Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats, the king of chat, Richard Madeley, comedian and athlete Mel Giedroyc, and their team captain, Sean Locke. Facing them tonight, pop world puppet Simon Amstell, from the sketch show, Mack, and their team captain, Dave Spikey. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Jimmy Carr.
Well, thanks very much. Welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 1 in 12 school children don't know who's on top of Nelson's column? The clue is in the name, Trevor Nelson. 32% of old people don't want to live. Tell you what, old people, you're in luck. 80% of women find men with cool cars attractive, which goes some way towards explaining why the last Pope got so much poontang. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and we've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. We didn't ask about the biggest or the most important news stories, just the things people had actually been chatting about. And it's our panellists' jobs to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Sean.
Well, I imagine they've been talking about the announcement of the Live 8 gig, which is due to coincide with the G8 summit, isn't it, in July? You know, the G8 summit where the 8 most powerful nations all get together in a room and go, everything's going great, isn't it?
I don't know what the 9th most powerful country is, but I bet they're livid.
Yeah. And they're doing a big... Bob Geldof's doing a big gig to draw attention to this, and he's been in some trouble with encouraging school kids to take a day off school.
Is he encouraging them to take Mondays off by any chance?
He's called for 1 million people to march to Edinburgh. I mean, I think, you know, this is a country facing a massive obesity crisis. I mean, getting someone to march to their newsagents is impossible enough.
But most of the kids who bunk off go, yeah, I'm going to Edinburgh, and they won't. They're going out to the park and try and get a bottle of cider, you know. Put the hooded tops up and throw scaffold tubes at hearses. That's what they do.
Well, let's have a look and see if Live 8 is up on our list. Yes. Oh, okay. You're absolutely right. 48% of people were talking about Live 8. It was a huge talking point this week. I don't know if you've seen the incredibly powerful commercial where a child dies every time famous people click their fingers. I couldn't help thinking, stop clicking your fingers. Last night I went to a restaurant. I killed 2 kids just getting the bill. It's been claimed this week that the Make Poverty History wristbands are made in China by children. Of course, they might not be children. They are a lot shorter over there.
My brother had the anti-racism wristbands, which is, you know, a black one and a white one. The black one fell off, so now he's a racist.
Dave, over to you. What do you think people have been talking about this week?
Big Brother is back. It's sort of indicative of the way the programme's going, that the second most important statistic they give you now, when it comes on, is the bust size. It's the breast size, isn't it? It's like Saskia, 34FF. But they don't do it for... They don't do it for the blokes, do they? They don't do Anthony, 3.5 inches, on the slack.
I haven't seen much of it because I've been quite busy this week counting my rice. But the bits I've seen, I mean, you were talking there about the amount of large-breasted ladies. I was watching under the sound down. It looked like Benny Hill made a rap video. It's fantastic.
Well, let's have a look and see if Big Brother is on our list of the most talked about things this week. It is. Big Brother was always... Let's face it, Big Brother was always going to be in our top 5. They've introduced infrared cameras in the house. We're excited about the prospect of some nocturnal activity. Bill Oddie hopes to see a badger. Sean, back over to you. What do you think the nation have been discussing this week?
Well, the Bumblebee crisis.
What now?
What?
The Bumblebee...
Shit! Don't panic! Don't panic! No one panic!
Calm down, it's...
What are you talking about? What Bumblebee crisis?
You don't know.
No.
In the paper, when it says BB crisis, you know that's Big Brother, don't you?
Female bumblebees, which apparently are the zealous, hard-working sex, are turning into fat, lazy males. This is a crisis because although bumblebees don't make honey, they do a lot of bumbling. And bumbling levels have reached a record low, and it is a real problem.
So what you're saying is there's a lot of lady bees turning into lady boys.
Exactly.
So bumblebees, you're saying, don't make honey?
No.
Right, they just bumble around.
They just bumble, and neither do they sting.
What do they do? Little fat, lazy shits. Do they do anything?
Am I dreaming, or is Richard Madeley talking about bees?
Because I can check if that's in the top 5.
I don't think it probably is.
Well, I think people have got to be talking about the shock horror news that Coldplay have been knocked off the #1 spot by...
Jack Chirac.
Crazy Frog.
That's more annoying than the Crazy Frog.
You don't have to pixelate her genitals, so...
Chris Martin said he wants to catch him and eat his legs. But he's never going to do it. In the video, there's some guy in a rocket bike chasing him. He can't do it.
Right, so you're saying the Crazy Frog?
It's got to be there.
Let's see if it's there.
Yeah.
Yes! Yes, the Crazy Frog was the most talked about thing this week. The creator of the Crazy Frog has said, and I quote, "I would never have it on my phone. If it came on the television, I would turn it off. Even before it went on the website, I began to hate myself." He added, "Bing, bing, 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 bing." 2 more to get. Come on, Dave.
Is it anything to do with the fact that the postal service have had the prices of stamps frozen? I mean, I'm not being unsympathetic, but why should they raise the price of stamps? Because what do the actual postal service do, right? All they do is they collect a letter from a box, right? They stick it in a sorting office, then somebody else takes it to a train station, who takes it up north to Newcastle, and then another bloke picks that up from there, takes it to another sorting office, he'll then sort it out again, and then he'll give it to another man who gets on a bicycle and rides for 4 miles on his bike in the rain and delivers it to someone in the middle of nowhere, right? And they want 22p for that. It's a rip-off, isn't it? Oh, what is it?
I was intrigued by this. I don't know if you saw this, that Tesco are now... you can get funerals at Tesco, which is fantastic, isn't it, really?
You get funerals at Tesco?
Oh, shop till you drop, yeah.
What is it? Oh! That's not one of the 5 big talking points this week. I'll tell you what, we've got 2 more to get. Fingers on buzzers. Buzz in if you think you know what the people have been talking about this week.
Yeah,
okay?
buzz.
Sean.
I think it has to be the rejection of the European Constitution by the French and the Dutch. Have said no, and ni.
I mean, the great thing is that now we don't have a referendum, because has anybody any idea what you'd be voting for?
I've got no idea at
Does
all.
anybody have any
Yeah,
idea?
it's obvious. You're voting about whether Liverpool should be in Europe now.
Oh, it's
Well, let's have a look and see if the European vote was up there. Yes, it was. Well, Mel.
Rod Stewart is to be a dad again, age 60. Obviously, when his kid has their 21st birthday, Rod will be dead.
Going out with one of her friends?
Yes.
Yeah, Dad, you coming to my 21st? You bet your arse I am, yeah.
the best age to have kids, though, 60s and 70s, isn't it, really? Because you've got to get up 2 or 3 times a night anyway.
That's a lovely thought. No, that didn't make the list.
Japanese soldiers thought World War II was still going on. They emerged somewhere.
Oh, yes.
I can tell you that was the 8th most talked about thing this week. 2 Japanese servicemen have emerged from the jungle and are said to be shocked that the war is over. They were even more shocked when Ant and Dec said, "Let's have a look at some of your funniest moments." You've got one more thing to get. Richard.
It's actually Cole, isn't it?
Tell me the story.
He's committed the heinous crime of actually having a cup of tea with somebody from another club. For this, he's been fined £100,000.
It wasn't the first time it happened as well, because he was tapped up by Newcastle as well, apparently, just before.
Why does it matter? I mean...
Well, that would never work, because you can't sell coal to the Geordies. Hey. Thank you. Hey.
Let's have a look if it's there. It is.
Oh, you're nice.
Right, that's the end of the first round, and we've established that the British public talk more about animated ringtones than the European Constitution. Good on you. I can also tell you that Sean, Richard and Mel have 4 points, and Dave, Simon and Lee have 1 point. The next round is called The Poll with a Hole. We've looked through hundreds of surveys, past and present, from around the world and unearthed some fascinating facts. Unfortunately, each statistic is missing one salient piece of information, so it's up to our panellists to fill in the gaps. Dave, your team first. I can't tell you the source because it will give it away. 7% of UK kids don't know what?
Shit.
The correct way to prepare crack.
That if they eat another chocolate biscuit, they'll turn into a chocolate biscuit.
It is about food.
What a carrot is.
Very close.
What a carrot isn't.
I think I'm going to have to give you this one. It's 7% of UK kids don't know how to eat an orange.
What?
Incredibly. 7% of UK kids don't know how to eat an orange. Cover it in breadcrumbs and deep fry it. They'll get the hang of it. To be fair, most kids get all the orangey goodness they need from Bacardi breezes. Sean's team. This is from a study by Leicester University from March this year. On average, policemen spend 2 minutes per day what?
Playing with their needle.
Arguing over who's going to be bad cop.
Spend 2 minutes per day tampering with evidence. You know, just for old time's sake.
Is it boiling a really soft egg?
No, the answer is, in fact, on average, policemen spend 2 minutes per day taking statements. Dave, Simon and Lee, this is from the Department of Health survey from last December. Southerners are 5 times more likely to what than Northerners?
Support Manchester United.
Celebrate Pimm's O'Clock.
Book a flight from Gatwick.
I'll give you a clue. It's to do with an emergency.
5 times more likely to not have an emergency.
It wasn't that much of a clue.
Call an ambulance.
You're absolutely right. It is dial 999.
Yeah.
My neighbour had a heart attack, right? Fell on his hamster, and the RSPCA got there before the ambulance.
Sean's team, you're next. This is according to a survey by the Ramblers Association from this March. 69% of people think that encountering what would spoil their enjoyment of a country walk?
Talking sheep. Especially a really dull one. If a sheep could talk, it'd be quite boring, wouldn't it? You know, he's just been standing here all day. Bloody boring. Good over there yesterday. Great.
A badger the size of a horse.
That sounded really rude, the way you said it. Oh, she had a badger the size of a horse.
I keep forgetting Richard Madeley's there, and it's like a little surprise every 5 minutes.
What would spoil a country walk? Come on, just think about it logically.
A bull.
The road.
Electric pylon.
Yeah, you're along the right.
Motorway. Cars.
Well, you're absolutely right. I'll give you that. It's vehicles.
What?
Dave, your team, next one's from the British Attitude Survey, December 2004. By the year 2015, half the world's population will what?
Have been evicted from the Big Brother house.
Will have had a go on Titmus.
I've read the Da Vinci Code.
Reading the Da Vinci Code is kind of along the same lines. They would be able to read the Da Vinci Code.
Speaking English.
You're absolutely right. Sean, yours is the next one, from a survey by Surrey University, featured in the Daily Mail in March. 17% of British women are kept awake each night by what?
17% of British men.
Richard Madeley.
Yeah, they're there tossing and turning.
Yeah. Is it ecstasy?
I think it's a gentle but insistent prodding in their lower backs.
Come on, it's quite an obvious one.
The children.
Is it snoring?
You are absolutely 100% right. 17% of British women are kept awake by their partner snoring. If your partner does snore, one way you can deal with it is to gently roll them over. Do it 3 times, they're out the bed, problem solved. So at the end of that round, it's 8 points for Sean's team and 2 points for Dave's team. Our next round is Faceoff, a head-to-head challenge between our 2 team captains. Sean and Dave have 6 well-known faces in front of them. Prince Harry, David Blunkett, Pope Benedict XVI, Wayne Rooney, Sherry Blair and Chewbacca the Wookiee. We ask the British public to rank these people in order on a series of questions. All Sean and Dave have to do is guess who came top. The first question is, who would you most like to have on your pub quiz team? Who got the most votes, Dave?
I think the Pope would be good, because he'd be in the toilets texting God, wouldn't he? Like, Plague of Frogs, any idea? Any idea? I'm thinking Exodus. Which it is, actually.
You're going to go with the Pope? Well, he is infallible. It's not a bad choice.
Well, only if you're a Catholic, you believe that. I'm not Catholic. I was. I was at confession, and I thought, hold on a minute, I'm in a little wooden box telling dirty stories to an Irishman who never had sex.
This is bollocks.
It shows you I have actually met the Pope. And you know that little white thing on his head?
Yeah.
If you push that down and twist it, he's full of sweets.
OK, so who are you going to go for, Sean?
Well, I think I would go for Prince Harry, because I think he'd lull the opposition into a false sense of security. They think, Harry's here, they're bound to lose, he's an idiot. But then again, that would be a problem, because he is an idiot. Oh, I'll go for Harry anyway.
You're going for Harry. OK, well, I can tell you that Harry got 15% of the vote, so you win that, because Pope Benedict XVI only got 9% of the vote.
Wow, nice one.
It's surprising that the Pope came behind Chewbacca. It's very rare in a pub quiz, that, in my experience at least, that the answer is... It depends where you drink, doesn't it? OK, Sean, this is to you. Who would cope best in prison?
If the Pope was in prison, he wouldn't be the Pope anymore, would he? You know, I imagine they'd strip him of his Pope.
How would he have got in prison?
Yeah.
What could he have done?
Take the Pope-mobile down the pub. Drive back hammered with his head sticking out of that glass dome. With bubbles coming up. I went, Harry, I don't know if he's already got experience of Her Majesty's pleasure. Hope not. Any ideas over there?
There's one, aren't we?
I think the answer might be Wayne Rooney, Richard.
Yeah, he coped really well, because he wouldn't understand he was in prison for years.
Well, I think Chewbacca's obviously... He'd be fine in prison. He doesn't really want for very much, does he?
OK, Dave, who do you think? Who would cope best in prison?
Prince Harry, just looking at that, the way the pose there, he'd do very well in prison.
So who are you going to go with?
Team?
I don't know what that is going in Sherry Blair's mouth, but I'm sure it belongs to Chewbacca.
I'll go Rooney.
Well, Wayne Rooney got 23% of the vote, but Chewbacca the Wookiee got 32%. We asked the public, who would you trust to perform heart bypass surgery on you? Who got the most votes? Sean?
Well, if any of them do it, you're going to die, aren't you? Because it's not something that's got a bit of a knack to it, is it? That's why they've never had a faking it, where they take a scaffold and go, 3 weeks' time. The Pope?
Pope, miracle healing, you know?
Miracle.
Laying on of hands,
Yeah,
fixed,
yeah.
sorted.
Good bedside manner, probably.
OK, the Pope.
Dave, what do you think?
Driving past Manchester Royal Infirmary the other day, they had a sign that said, "This hospital has car thieves operating."
Go for Wayne Rooney, then.
No, just... Chorley Hospital is further down the list of Manchester Royal Infirmary and has guard dogs operating, which is a big worry for me. I don't know about that. I'm having this bone afterwards. Any ideas, lads?
I'd go for the Pope. I like the idea of the
They've
Pope.
gone for the Pope.
No, he can't.
Oh, right, but there's a reason I say the Pope, because if he did it on me, right, and he killed me, then he'd get accused of killing me, which is exactly what happened when the other Pope died. I got accused of killing him.
Ah.
Because I came home, hit the button on the remote control, and the man on the news said, if you've just turned your televisions on, the Pope is dead.
Sherry Blair.
I can tell you, Sherry Blair was the second highest answer with 28%, but the Pope won it with 41%. At the end of that round, Sean's team have 11 points and Dave's team have 4 points. And the winner is the name of our final round. I'm going to give the teams a series of opinion polls, and it's up to them to buzz in and tell me what or who they think came top. Here's your first one. Most disappointing holiday destination?
Leatherhead.
Costa Delamitri.
Lovely.
Is it Dusseldorf?
It's
I
not.
always see, you know, the EasyJet have those flights on Ryanair to Dusseldorf. And you think, why would you want to go? And if you say, I'm taking you on a romantic weekend, where to? Dusseldorf.
I think it's anywhere where England's barmy army are when you get there. Spain especially, because I don't know if you've been there when there's been a football match on and they're all on the streets going, "Champions, champion," and all the Spanish are going, "That's mushrooms."
OK, come on, most disappointing. It's between Spain and France.
Andorra is between Spain and France.
Andorra is the correct answer. The most disappointing holiday destination. This is from a That's Life magazine survey from last year. Most frequently told lie. Simon.
It's been great to have you on the show.
I must have downloaded it by accident.
It could be you.
Or is it, I won't come on your cat?
Most frequently told. It's more obvious than that. It's something that is often said by men to women.
Like a donkey.
Something like, you
Don't look fat in that.
Yeah.
You are exactly
Yeah.
right. The most frequently told lie is you don't look fat in that.
Well done, Richard. Brilliant.
If you look, we've got the top 10 here. It's, of course, you don't look fat is number one. These were only £10. Second most common. The bus was late. I've got a headache. I've only had one drink. That dress looks good on you. The check's in the post. You look 10 years younger. You're wonderful in bed, and I love you. I think over the course of one weekend, I've used all of those. This is from a poll by Yours magazine from last year. Hardest thing to open.
A spearmint rhino in Kabul.
I think there's a market for it, I'll be honest.
Yep.
You go in there, pay your money. Oh, she's got beautiful eyes.
Is it the front door when you need a poo?
I shall tell you, surprisingly, the most difficult thing to open is not a West End musical. It is, in fact, bleach bottles. But considering the fact that kids can't get into an orange, why are we worrying? That sound tells me that it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Dave's team have 7 points, but winning tonight, Sean's team with 14 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and of course all the people we held up in the high street asking stupid questions. Good night.
Tonight on 8 out of 10 Cats, from Tattoo Fixers, it's Paisley Billings. Laugh Yourself Silly, it's Josh Jones. And Rob Becket, their team captain. And facing them tonight, getting a great reception, it's Tom Reed-Wilson. She's a stand-up gal. It's Kiri Pritchard-McLean. And Katherine Ryan, their team captain. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 66% of the human body is made up of water, unless that human body is your mum's, in which case, it's biscuits. 3% of the UK think they have superpowers. I have a superpower. I can levitate. Well, not completely, just my tinkle. Only when I'm looking at other tinkles. And toilets use up to 35% of your home's total water consumption. That's why, to save water, I go to the toilet in the shower. Although it can be tricky pushing it through the plug hole. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. Tonight, it's our panelist's job to guess the most memorable things about school. Rob's team, what do you remember about school?
Oh, well, the teachers?
Do you have any great teachers? Was there anyone that stood out?
Not really. All I really remember from school is really wanting pubes. I was 13, is in PE, that was all pubed up. I was like, I've never wanted pubes more. Oh. Now I've got them, don't know what to do with them all. You've got pubes, yeah?
One.
One really long one.
Yeah, last week I ran downstairs. Mum, look, it's happening!
What were your teachers, Paisley?
Some of all right, I guess, but a few of them didn't like me. One in particular, because I did used to spend quite a lot of time on the phone. And then this teacher caught me on my phone, and I was put in inclusion for the rest of the week. So basically, they lock you up in a room at the top of the English block with, like, a supply teacher or, like a what are they called?
Pedo.
People that help. People that help you. Teaching assistant. Honestly, I had to eat my lunch up there and everything. It was really sad.
I feel sad for teachers now because they're not allowed to discipline anyone. If I was a teacher now, I'd be fired day one. And any type of abuse that happens to your child at the hands of another child, they'll never tell you which child it was because they don't want vigilantism. But I know it was Marianne. And I just start flirting with their dads to break up their family. You want to go straight to the child. You just want to be like, hey, Hannah, are you going to be nice today? How'd you like to spend every other weekend on the M25? You're about to have 2 Christmases, bitch. I don't care.
I used to love it when you see a teacher outside of school.
Oh.
Like, what a thrill. You know, when you see them, like, in the Morrisons in a fleece and they look all bedraggled. They look like, you know, when they pulled Saddam Hussein out of the ground.
They always moan as well, that, oh, there's so much marking. Oh, there's so much marking. How hard can that be? They know the answers. We both went to school in South East London, didn't we, right? And you don't learn anything apart from how to know when a fight's going to happen. They never taught us anything that we'd use. They taught us stuff like Spanish and music. Everyone I went to school was a gas fitter. Not one flamenco guitarist. But none of us know how to do our tax returns. We all know our own Hannah G. Sharp.
Now, each teacher has a different reason for getting into teaching. Take a look.
So why do people become teachers?
I can only say that I always wanted to be a teacher from being a tiny child.
Well, I knew I wanted to teach drama.
I wanted to do a job that I would be proud of.
Well, I only went into it, first of all, as a sort of a stopgap.
Wow! A stopgap between school and prison. Do you know the teachers I hated? French teachers. They're shit, isn't it? It's just someone that can speak French, isn't it? Being a teacher, they just speak French at you and go, oh, don't you know it? You're not doing very well, are you?
Well, my grandpa was a French teacher and my father was an English teacher, and that's how I happened. Because...
Your dad fucked his dad?
No, my maternal grandfather taught at the same school, and sometimes the eldest girls of faculty would date the youngest teachers.
So your dad was a teacher there?
Yeah.
Your mum was a child that was there?
Well, she was 18. She was
okay.
coming of age.
Yeah.
So sometimes a sexual assault in a school can go well.
So how old was your dad?
He was 16 years her senior.
He was 34 and she was 18.
I never really thought about it.
Fine.
Yeah, but she's French.
Well, she's got French in her.
I bet she has. Josh, any good teachers at school?
No, my teachers hated me because I'm gay, I'm dyslexic and I'm left-handed, so I'm just a, Catholic teacher's worst nightmare.
Was you naughty?
Yeah. I was like one of the bad boys.
You were one of the bad boys?
Yeah. And people meet me now and think I'm like, woo, but actually I'm pretty dangerous. Because I was like getting bullied. I started doing boxing for self-defence, and I did boxing for years and I loved it. I loved it so much. And not just because of the skipping, but the never-ending violence.
I was the opposite, Joshua. All the teachers loved me, and I was really popular, too. I was in a very exclusive clique of one. Yeah. I was like the kid every other kid hated. I did everything right. I was really smart. I was bilingual, and the teachers wanted to have lunch with me and chat to me. Like, I was cool with them only. It was very sad. And then I realized I didn't like that anymore, so I packed that in about 14 and started getting fingered.
What an inspirational story for anyone watching. Let's have a look and see if teachers are up there. Yes, it's teachers. They say those who can do and those who want loads of holidays and to finish work at 3:30 teach. OK, so, Katherine's team, what do you think the nation remembers about their school days?
I think they've got to remember school dinners. We're top 20 in obesity here, but now that we don't have the EU butting in, we could go for #1.
I think the way they should do it now is because there's a lot of obesity at schools, isn't there, right? And schools are overcrowded. So what they should do is, rather than having a canteen, they just put all the food in the middle of the playground and just let them run at it. And all the fat ones that can't keep up will lose a bit of weight. The skinny, poor ones will get a bit bulkier. And then, you know, you may lose a couple of lives along the way, but then smaller classroom sizes.
I don't see how they can be obese now, because you're not allowed to pack them anything delicious in their lunch. You're not allowed nuts, you're not allowed any chocolate, not allowed any fizzy drinks.
But I stopped drinking fizzy drinks at school because I remember that experiment where you had to put a tooth in a glass of Coke, and after a week, it had vanished.
No.
Yeah, because it was dead.
Oh, yes.
There you go. You can drink Coke, you'll be all right.
They tricked you. In that way, they take an apple and they roll it around and bruise it, and then they take another apple and they don't bruise it, and then they tell you to slag off the one apple and be kind to the other apple. Then they cut all the apples in half. And they go, see, your hurtful words have bruised this apple. That's
What the fuck are you doing?
Well, they don't do that here.
What do you mean, the old bruising the apple and then talk to the apple?
It's very normal. You slag off one apple, you're kind to the other apple. You see that those one you slagged off is bruised, you give your teacher a hand job, you don't go home and tell anyone.
Back to school dinners.
I used to have packed lunch because I was a really fussy eater, and then it sort of ended up being a good thing, because once Jamie Oliver took all the good stuff out of the vending machines, like, I still had crisps, chocolate...
Did you sell it at a profit?
No, I'd trade, like, my Lunchables, though, because I love cheese, so I'd trade, like, the chicken bit for more cheese.
Yeah, the meat in a Lunchable, you know,
Oh, yeah,
that is not acceptable. It's just a pink square.
Yeah.
The packed lunch is a dangerous game, though, isn't it? Because one wacky choice by your mum, and people see it, like, your life's over at school. All right, brioche boy. 7 years have gone by and they remember that one time you had a bit of brioche. You can be in a pub with your kids at 33 and goes, all right, brioche! Still having brioche, are you, prick?
What do you remember at school dinners, Kiri?
I was part of the generation where we had the turkey Twizzler. I miss it.
What's that?
Yeah.
What? It's the best. It's like buttholes and nipples in like a delicious spiral, and it's like sweet and salty, and it's so good. And then Jamie Oliver came in and just took out all the good stuff out of school dinners, all gone. Jamie Oliver is as like detrimental to turkey dinosaurs as the meteor was to actual dinosaurs.
Josh, what do you remember from school dinners?
I just used to smoke.
So you wouldn't eat anything?
No, eating's cheating. Like, if you want to look thin, just start smoking at 12. I mean, I'm 56 now, and I'm quite happy with how I look.
What I used to find disconcerting was sweet servers for savoury things. Like the smash would be served with an ice cream scoop.
Yeah.
That was so incongruous to me.
It sounds like the kind of school that you went to, like, you would start from the outside with your cutlery and work your way in.
Like, did you go to a fancy school, Tom?
Well, my secondary school was. It was a nautical college, and I had to polish cannons every day. And I wish it was a euphemism, but it's not. I had a microfiber duster and a can of Brasso, and if I didn't do it, I had to do a march of shame around the parade ground in my number 2s, which was my uniform.
We've got a photo of you from your school days from my private collection.
Oh, that's in the marching band with my French horn.
Well, you had to learn to blow somewhere.
I tell you, marching with a French horn is perilous for your teeth if you're trying to play Henry Mancini with an instrument that large.
That's why I've stayed away from it.
Do you still have the hat?
Well, yes, I do.
This is like Grindr Live. Have you got the hat?
I do love a posh bike. It makes me feel like dead rugged and manly and like I'm the bit of rough. Like, I'm just going to come in and sweep his chimney.
Oh, don't call it his chimney. OK, let's have a look and see if school dinners are up there. Yes, indeed, it's school dinners. Our dinner ladies at school weren't a great bunch, but there was one DILF. I wouldn't have minded putting a toad in her hole. OK, fingers on buzzers. Rob's team.
Exams, that was quite stressful at school.
Did you do well in your exams, Rob?
I didn't do any.
Did you not?
No, I did do it. But yeah, I didn't like it when you had to show your working. You did maths, show your working. Well, I can't have a hunch.
I've got a foolproof way of, if you're a girl, of cheating in exams. This is what I did. You write the stuff on your tits that you need, you know, like the formulas that you need, and then you, like, obviously have your, like, polo shirt or whatever done up, and then when you need to do it, you just look down and you see the formulas, because there's no teacher who's going to be like, show me your tits.
If I didn't know the answer, I'd just write a letter to my teacher about how sad it would be if I got trapped in the town. I was like, please, Mr. Keir, I really hate this city, and you know that I don't belong here, and if I don't pass and get at least a 72, then I will be here, and you will see me in the bars, and you will deal with me. And then he did give me exactly a 72.
I couldn't get away with it, because when I did my exams, I had to be, like, chaperoned by this, like, guy because I was too naughty. So, and also because I was thick as shit. So I'd just be doing my exams. But sometimes he'd give me the answer because he wanted to get off.
Yeah. What annoys me is I used to hate it when you had to do that 3-hour English exam, right? And you finished after about 45 minutes, didn't you? You just have to pretend you're like that. And then they have the cheek to go, OK, everyone, pens down. Who's still fucking writing? Who's writing after 3 hours?
It'd be me, because I would use it, because I had it for attention deficit disorder. And what would happen is about 20 minutes in, I'd see a shuttlecock in the roof of the gym, and that's 45 minutes gone. And then I've got, like, a whole paper to do.
But how come when you've got ADHD, can you not concentrate on the paper, but there's 45 minutes in a shuttlecock? How come you can focus so deeply?
Well, because, like, the shuttlecock is the leap-off point.
Yeah.
So you go shuttlecock, and then you're like, why is it shaped like that? And you're like, what's the end made of? Is it nice to bite? And then you're like, do you know what I like biting? It's like the end of certain jumpers, but not the jumper that I'm wearing right now. And then you're like, why is it only jumpers that are delicious, though? And then you're like, oh, my God, it's been 45 minutes.
Well, I can tell you that exams are not one of the most memorable things about school, but remember, if you do cheat in exams, ultimately, there's only one person you're cheating. The head of the exam board. Fuck him. Fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get.
I fondly remember the ride on the yellow school bus, but I don't see yellow school buses, and I don't know how British children are getting to school. Are they digging tunnels? Are they hitchhiking? I have no idea how your kids get to school.
Get the bus.
Yeah, just get the bus. I used to walk home sometimes as well, and then I'd stop off at the special bin. There was a bin that I used to stop at and make sure I had a bit of rubbish to throw in it for good luck.
Special bin? Sorry, what was the special bin where you had to have rubbish to put in the bin?
Yeah, right, so on my walk home from school, there was this bin, and me and my mate just decided that it was our special bin because, like, good things would happen after you put a little bit of rubbish in that bin. So we'd always make sure we had something to throw in there, and then we'd be like, and then run home.
Why was it a magic bin?
It was just a magic bin, OK? I was a child. I used to put things in, and then something good would happen.
What good thing happened?
I'd find 50p, and then I could go and buy a curly whirly and some other sweets.
40p it was for the bus when I first started going to school. But there was a devil bus, basically. There was a bus I got, and then there was a special bus for the rough school nearby.
Sorry, you weren't in the rough school?
No, this one was even worse. They weren't allowed to get on buses. They had to have one just for them.
Did they have police at the doors? Because they used to do that at my school. They'd be like, the police would stop you from getting on the bus. Yeah.
I once got pelted with conkers, but I'm talking like 300 conkers. It was at the start of Saving Private Ryan. And then once they ripped out the back seat and threw it at me. It was awful. Awful.
Yeah. Everyone used to egg the school bus because you know that the bus driver can't chase you, but then you egg a car and you're like fucked because he'll chase you till he catches you.
So while you guys are dealing with violence and police and magic bins on public transport, what happens when you put a film on like Forrest Gump and you see a yellow school bus? Are you confused?
Well, no, I understand that they have them over there. It's the same as like when I see a man with abs. I know it exists. It's not anything that I'll have a part of.
Well, I can tell you the school bus is not up there, but the back of the bus was always the cool bit. I never really understood what Rosa Parks was so annoyed about. OK, one more thing to get. Come on, fingers on buzzers.
Is it school break time?
Yeah, like the playground. Did you have the same thing? Did you sort of go crazy in break time?
We had fun, but you could play anything you wanted back then. Blind Man's Bluff, which I guess is based on benefit fraud.
We used to do, like, Tunnel of Death. Basically, you're queuing up to get in your classes, and there'll be kids on one side, kids on the other, and if it was all full and someone was walking down, someone would scream, Tunnel of Death, and that person had the shit kicked out of them.
No.
We had a game that we devised. It was when the Spice Girls were at their zenith.
Yeah.
And it tickled us.
Of course.
It really tickled us to sing Spice Girls songs in an RP accent. And we would do it interminably.
Can we have an example?
If you want to be my lover, you've got to get with my friends.
So that's what... yeah. That is what posh Spice would sound like if she was posh or could sing. OK, so one of the most fun things you can do in the playground is play with bollards. Take a look at this clip.
You'll be like, running out of memory. I hope, Jack.
We're getting so many videos here, but nothing.
Oh, let's see it again, let's see it again. Oh, it's full force.
Poor Michael McIntyre.
That happened to me, that's why my voice is this high.
Right, this is quite dark, but it's quite funny. There was... someone had some scissors in the classroom, and someone had scissors. They went, I'll pass him scissors, so they threw them at him. Went into his head. It was all fine, right, at the end of it, but it went in, like, in there, and a little bit, and it was bleeding and stuff like that, and he went, oh, God, and, like, fell down on the floor like that, and the teacher went, just don't move, I'll go and get some. And he's there, and there's blood over his hand, and they're like, oh, God, I can't move. And then someone in the class went and got a bit of chalk and just drew a chalk line around it.
When my mum was at school, her friend...
Your dad was fucking her?
Her friend said to her, I want to be off games for the whole term. Will you break my arm? I promise I won't tell. And so she put him in a half Nelson and did it. Oh. She's very strong, my mum. She's diminutive, but tough.
Do you know, I might be posh, Tom, because our families are not that different. My best break and my last good break of all time, before I became even more deeply unpopular, was the day I found out that a man dumped a really popular girl in my school for my mom and started dating my mom, and that man's my stepdad now, so it's fine. But at the time, it ruined my life. And it was such a big scandal in a small school in a small town.
How old was your mum? How old was your stepdad?
She was 40, he was 20, I was 15. And the girl he broke up with was like 17, and she was popular and I wasn't.
And that girl was at your school?
Yes.
Wow, you are trash.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. We didn't have mobile phones, but I knew this guy worked with my mom. So I took a quarter from my friend Lori, and the whole school was abuzz with this news. And I was like, I'm gonna call him, because I knew my mom's work number. And I marched down the hall. It was just like a film, like, dun, 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 dun. And as I marched down, people gathered with me, and it became this procession of people being like, we're gonna go to the payphones, and we're gonna call this guy. And I had this big crowd, and I went to the payphone and put the quarter in, and I rang, and I called the work, and I said, hello, can I please speak to Abe? His name's Abe the Babe. And then it transferred to him, and he was like, hello? And I was like, you're fucked.
Yeah, by your mum.
And then we spent a year trying to ruin his life. It didn't work. He still kept fucking my mom, and then I gave up. And now...
That must be a great lay.
Yeah, she is. Thank you.
I got my finger chopped off at primary school. I was trying to escape, and do you know when you got the metal fences like that? And I got my finger, like, cut off. But they sewn it on. I'm pretty pissed off, because they've, like, put it on sideways. It's like, I'm trying to point over there, but he's defo going over there. But he's dead strong, look.
Oh!
Like a little bionic finger.
Yeah, can I fit?
Yeah, but it was...
Oh, my God, you're wasted as a gamer. It's incredible.
Oh, you can do a lot with that.
I broke my leg in school on the playground. I had to be in a wheelchair for like a year because it was so bad. Yeah.
Wow.
How'd you break it?
I was like, there was some kid who was crying, and I was like, I'm going to go and see what's wrong with them. And I was going down the bars on a climbing frame, and I slipped, and my leg went between the bars and broke. And one of the little kids as well was like, you know, when something like someone hurts themselves, everyone runs round at school. So all the kids came running around. One kid jumped over me to get a better look and kicked the broken leg.
No.
Oh, what a legend. Is that painful? Oh, it is now. Let's have a look and see if the playground is up there. Yes, of course, we all remember the playground. Luckily, in the playground, I knew how to make the bullies laugh by tickling their balls with my tongue. So at the end of that round, Rob's team have 1 point, Katherine's team have 2 points. Yeah. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. Rob, Paisley, Josh, what do you like the look of?
The suitcases?
You've chosen the suitcases. Here's your related question. Most people find going on holiday stressful. True or false?
True. The one thing that proper grinds my gears about going on holiday is you get to the hotel and your room's not ready. Like, that shit pisses me off. Like, I get that other people stay here too, but you know I'm coming.
Yeah.
So please let the room be ready. Like, I don't want to sit there in my sweaty plain clothes in the baking heat, like, sipping a mimosa. I'm like, I don't want this. I want to strip down.
Well, you seem very stressed. Do you know what you need?
If they kept me waiting like that, I would put my sweaty plain pum straight in their pool and be like, your problem now.
The thing is, I get quite stressed at the airport. What annoys me the most is when you try and buy something and they go, oh, you got a boarding card? But why do I need my boarding pass for this? Do you think... of course I'm flying somewhere. Do you think I've gone through security for an hour to buy a packet of minstrels for £8?
That's what really scared me about Heathrow. I was going to Ireland. I used to go all the time when my Nana was still alive. She, like, really stretched that out. Like, 10 years she pretended to die. And you'd go closer and closer and closer to the Ryanair gate, and then there was an off-license right by the door to go on the plane. And they had a big sign there that was like, no ID, no sale. And I was like, no ID? How'd you get in the fucking airport? How'd you get to the gate?
What about you, Josh? You go away on holiday much?
Well, the only holidays I've been on in the last 10 years have been on a badge. So...
How many A's is it?
Badge.
Are you in Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, I am. I told you I'm dangerous. I am...
What are you on? Are you...
A narrowboat. A badge. Yeah. And there's a lot of stress, you know, there's driving the badge.
You're just saying what you're on. Badge!
Cooking in the badge, boxer size on a badge, aggressive
Stop
dish.
saying badge! How come you went on a badge holiday?
When I was at uni, some guy who went uni with, he had a badge in Reading. So we went there. To be honest, this is quite sad. For years, it was the only time I've been to London when I was stuck in the megabus bus station waiting to go to Reading on my badge. That was my whole experience of London till about 3 years ago. It was great, though. They had a Greggs.
Yeah. Tom, do you travel much?
I used to interminably when I was in the theatre. Because I'm an erstwhile thespian, you see.
Yes.
So I went all over the UK, up and down, again and again, and around in awful digs. My dad said I was living off the smell of an oily rag. I thought that was a divine remark.
The same oily rag you used on your mum. Kiri, what do you find stressful about travel over here?
Last girls' holiday I went on was a nightmare. Really horrible. I lacerated my hand on a rock playing in the sea, and then we went to get it sorted out, and it needed 4 stitches, but it was like €200, and I didn't have that. I'd spent it on the holiday. So I just bought some iodine and poured it in the wound, and then sellotaped it up. And then we booked to go to a water park the next day, and I couldn't get it wet because I had it sellotaped and I had to keep it straight. So all the photos of me are basically doing a full-on Nazi salute on all the rides, trying to keep my wound dry.
Now, one way to make holidays less stressful is to ensure you get to the gate at the airport on time. I've got a time-saving invention here Would you like to have a go? It's a suitcase, and it's like a ride-on suitcase. Rob, do you want to go?
Yes. I've never wanted to do anything more in my life.
OK, so you can probably figure it out. It's, yeah, open
it
that,
comes out there?
And then you can pull up the handle.
Oh, hello.
Pull up that.
What?
It's quite powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
Here we go.
So you're at... Rob, the flight leaves in 2 minutes. It's over there. You're all the way over there.
Not a problem.
It's a busy airport, Rob. You're never going to make it,
Not
mate.
a problem, mate. I've got a speedy boarding. Hang on. Here we go. Is that on?
Mate, honestly, the flight is going.
No! I'll come back round.
I've never seen him this happy.
See you next week! This is the best thing I've ever had. I'm having this now, Jim. I don't know.
That's good.
I mean, it don't corner well.
Oh, darling, that hump, you practically flew.
You
Yeah.
did.
It turned into chitty before my eyes.
You've got to be brave with it. Flying through Gatwick on that. Kids walking 100 metres behind. See you later, kids.
OK, let's get some answers. Most people find going on holiday stressful. What do you think, Rob?
I'd say yeah. Like...
OK, what do you think?
I'll say yeah.
Yeah, no.
You're saying false. What are you going to go with, Katherine?
We think it's absolutely true. Yes. On holiday.
OK, well, I can tell you the answer is false. But 39% of people do find going on holiday stressful.
Thank you very much.
When I went on holiday, I was worried that my elderly nana wouldn't be there when I got back. I needn't have worried. I rushed back from the airport, and there she was, lying at the bottom of the stairs just where I left her. OK, Catherine Steen, what do you like the look of?
I think I like the face paint.
OK.
Yes.
Well, you've picked the face painting, which means it's time for our face painting challenge. Rob and Josh, Catherine and Tom, put on your smocks. Come and join me in the middle.
Whoa.
Come on. OK. Lovely. OK, so it's a face painting challenge.
No.
The rules of the game are simple. Rob, you'll paint Josh's face. Catherine, you're going to paint Tom's face. The person who does it best wins an extra point for their team. Couldn't be simpler, except Catherine and Rob will both be wearing special goggles, so everything will look upside down.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Catherine, you'll be painting Tom to look like a tiger, and Rob, you'll be painting Josh to look like a clown.
OK.
OK, so those are the goggles. If you
Right,
pop
OK,
those
put it on. Oh, this is... Oh, God.
Goggles.
Right, OK.
Oh, I don't like it.
It's horrible.
I might throw up. I don't know if I can do it.
My cock looks massive in
Okay,
it.
hang on. No.
Can we do it?
If I throw up, I throw up.
All right, your time starts now.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Darling.
Go, Catherine.
I mean, I can't even get the fucking
Okay.
brushes.
Okay.
She's your hand.
I want to do well.
White base, Rob. White base for the clown.
I was going to do his nose, actually.
Start with the
you start
nose.
getting involved.
Sure, so
Oh,
just
this-
red.
It's awful.
I can't even get to it. It's fucking mental.
Oh, look at that. Look at the speed he's working with.
Is Rob going fast?
It's not even started.
It's so awful.
I'll do that and you move your face.
It's so awful.
Try a different brush.
Okay.
You know, I was going to say this is my ass.
Okay, sorry.
Suddenly it's in my mouth.
Okay, wait. Close your eyes a bit.
Oh, I feel sick.
Darling, you're very tender of touch.
Well, it's bothering me that I can't be good.
OK.
I don't like hurting people.
It feels very symmetrical thus far.
What are you doing?
Keep your hands still.
I'm so sorry, Josh.
Darling.
Sorry.
Why are you
That's rather
painting his shirt?
I can't. Oh, wait. Because...
What are you?
I keep talking
Looking at
you
me
know
over
where
my head.
I feel absolute. I don't know where anything is.
Well,
Why are you slurring your words?
Because mate, I don't know what's going on here.
He's on a badge.
Oh, here we go. We're back in the game now.
Divine. And I think you've got perfect symmetry until the spots went on.
There's nothing in that one! Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, Tom, Okay, close your lips, Tom.
Is that all right?
Try to gonna put some black on.
What is that on?
My head. They call it. Oh, fuck off.
Sorry. I can't do it.
Where are you, Tony?
I can't do it.
I feel like I've wanked off an elephant.
OK, your time's up. You can take off your glasses.
Oh, it's so horrible.
It is horrible.
OK. I think we've got to agree Katherine is the winner of that challenge.
Yeah!
So the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your first one. The scariest thing about the future.
Is it the diminishing numbers of giraffes?
Yes.
Well, good thing you buzzed in with that early, because I think they were thinking it was.
Well, I just think they're so beautiful. Zarafa is Arabic, meaning charming. And I think they are so charming.
They are too big, though, giraffes, aren't they?
I love them.
There's food on the ground.
No, but the high
Gazelles do all right.
The high leaves are infinitely moist.
OK, the scariest thing about the future. OK, I can tell you, a little bit of a spoiler, not fucking giraffes.
I mean, that would be scary, trying to fuck a giraffe, wouldn't it? Well, that's a two-step ladder job, that, isn't it? One for each leg, off we go.
Well, you're giving this a lot of thought.
Well, yeah. I'll do a job of doing properly. If you want to fuck a giraffe, Jim, I'll think about it.
OK, scariest thing about the future. What do you think, Josh? What do you worry about?
Like everyone having to go vegan, because I was a vegan for a couple of years, for like 3 years, but then I was bitten by a dog and I thought, do you know what, fuck them, they're not even grateful.
I think they'll make everyone go vegan eventually. I think it'll be, like, forced. And if you want meat, you're going to have to go to, like, a meat speakeasy.
I agree. I think they're going to make, like, cheese and all fun stuff illegal, and then you're going to have to, like, find it some other way. And call a guy and he'll bring you round to
I can't have a cheese dealer.
No, you're going to have to at some point.
Yeah.
Imagine that, you have a dinner party, glass of wine, I put a call in for a bit of brie.
Yeah.
You got a guy for brie? Yeah, they'll be cutting it out with, like, Dairy Lee, won't they? What is that? Ain't even pure grade brie.
Scariest thing about the future. What do you think? What do you worry about?
I am worried about robots taking over, because I already don't trust Alexa. She's always listening, and I don't like Siri. All these things are listening to you and learning about you, and I feel like they're just going to get us.
Like, anything happens with technology, the first thing we do, we're like, how can we fuck it? They're going to be so busy being filled in from every angle by your weird cousin. They haven't got time to take over the world. They're too busy, like, can I get the jizz out of my nuts and bolts, please?
Scariest thing about the future. What do you worry about, Katherine?
We're all getting older along with HD technology, and that's really hard. It was fine being older in the days of black and white, you know, films.
Oh, gosh.
It was nice.
Greta Garbo becoming a recluse because she didn't like seeing her wrinkles in the days where she could put Vaseline on the lens, for heaven's sake. Imagine her now.
Do you know what scares me about the future? We all end up in Panto.
Well, I mean, you're worried about Panto. I'm worried about the jungle. It's national service for us. But, I mean, you've got to
imagine you in the outfit. What? A little pair of shorts and a fleece. A little hat on. Jungle's all right, but Panto when you're stuck in Stoke with Ainsley Harriott for 3 months.
I had the most awful pantomime experience. I was playing Fiorina, the evil fairy in Sleeping Beauty, and there was a group of school children in the front row, and I said something particularly evil to the prince, and this 6-year-old boy went, "Oh, fuck off and die!" Could not keep a straight face for the remainder of the day.
OK, scariest thing about the future. Katherine, you were pretty close.
Ooh, age-related?
Yeah.
Getting old.
It's the right answer. Yes, the scariest thing about the future is getting old. I'm not worried about getting older, although I suspect I'll start thinking more about it when I turn 30. Well, fuck you. All right, final question. Coolest job?
Oh, I know what mine would be.
What is it?
I'd be the leading lady in a Jerry Herman musical, because they always get a staircase and they nearly always sing on it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the right answer. That's the right answer. Coolest job. What do you think would be the coolest job?
Coolest job would be hosting a place in the sun. You just get to go on holiday, show a couple houses. I don't know anything about selling a house, but I think I'd just wing it and it'd be OK.
It's normally sort of like, you know, two miserable people from somewhere cold. And they go, there's a pool, and it's sunny. They go, I love it.
Kiri, coolest job. What do you think?
Being Lizzo. That's a good job, isn't it? I'd absolutely love to do that. Whap a flute out, twerk. I could do that.
I wouldn't want to be a pop star. I'd want to be a pop star's entourage. Like, imagine being Ariana Grande's hairstylist. That's like $6 grand a day. That bitch is doing ponytails, nothing else.
you think that's cool? Like, you know, imagine the person that was like Whitney Houston's assistant thought it was a really cool job until she had to blow coke up her arse.
I'd do that.
Actually, thinking about it, not a bad job, is it?
OK, coolest job.
I think I'd like to be a guidance counselor. And then I'd tell every child that they were going to be a UK grime artist and then wait 20 years to see them on a chat show, being like, Mrs. Ryan is the only one who ever believed in me. And then it would be all worth it.
OK, coolest job. What do you think? What's the coolest job? What would you like?
Well, I thought I had it. I used to work for Uber Eats, cycling around Manchester.
You know how to cycle, yeah?
Yeah.
Like a dinosaur boxing. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was cycling around Manchester. I was dead excited because I was self-employed. And, but, like, it was quite bad because when you work for Uber Eats, you have to follow, like, a map. And it took me onto a place called the Mancunian Way, which is a dual carriageway. It's basically a mini motorway on top of a massive bridge with no pavement and no escape. Oh, no. So I was, like, cycling along there. All these cars got really angry. Everyone started beeping. So I did what anyone would do and started crying. And then, because I was so, like, flustered, I'd just been so close to death, I ate the pizza I was supposed to be delivering. And then I just deleted the Uber Eats app, and that's how I became a full-time stand-up comedian.
OK, coolest job. You're more likely to get recruited to do this job than to go for the job.
Oh, spy.
That's exactly right. Spy is the coolest job. Yes, the coolest job is being a spy. The best thing about being a spy is that you get to die of Novichok, which is what's going to kill Eamon Holmes. Novichok, and then Novichok, and then Novichok. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, and I can tell you Katherine's team are tonight's winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.